Blood Type Wellness Podcast, where the right plate meets purpose and flavor finds faith.
Blood type balance, mind, body, whole. Feed your spirit, that's the ultimate goal. We season for life.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to the Abstract Blood Type Wellness Podcast, where modern nutrition science meets ancient wisdom and wellness stays personal, even during the holidays. I'm your host, AC Price, certified wellness nutrition coach and educator, and founder of the AC Art of Food. Now, guys, this week, I know this week is big because it's the holiday week and people are excited. You're either going out of town, got people coming in from out of town. And with all of that, food is the forefront. Food is front and center of this holiday week. From Christmas dinners to Kwanzaa celebrations rooted in culture, community, and togetherness. And today's message is simple. You do not have to choose between celebrations and wellness. You just need a little intention. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about. So let's talk a little bit about food and culture. So the holidays are not a time for food guilt. I know we're going to indulge on those favorites that we look forward to just around this particular season, around these particular holidays to indulge in, but it's not time for the guilt. Remember, everything in moderation, but the holidays are the time for food awareness. So Christmas and Kwanzaa both honor family, heritage, abundance, and community, right? And food is a language of love. I know it's my love language. That's me. And blood type wellness helps us to speak that language without harming our bodies. So this isn't about restriction. It never is. It never has been. But it is about strategic enjoyment. Okay, so holiday edition, eating by type. I'm going to break down just some really quick, simple ways of how you can approach the holiday meals by type without missing out. Okay, so we're going to do a holiday focus on each of the blood types and a quick hack. Okay, let's start off with our O's, the originals. Okay, protein first, always with my type O's. Try turkey, fish, lamb during the holidays. Okay, greens before starches, smaller portions of those carbs though. Okay, and so for a quick hack, fill half of that plate with protein plus the veggies before adding those starchy carbohydrate sides. Okay, and make sure that we're eating in moderation for those. Now, my type A's, holiday focus needs to be light and calm, steady with the blood type, okay? Plant forward dishes. Check out those sides, those veggies, cooked veggies, lighter proteins like the turkey breast. I don't know, maybe a nice salmon, a nice trout. Try to incorporate that into the holiday meals. Quick hack, avoid skipping meals earlier in the day, okay? Steady that blood sugar, equaling to better choices that we can make. Because here's the thing, I'm guilty of this. We know that we're going to indulge because for dinner, it's going to be huge and we want to just save up all those calories, or we don't want to eat to mess up our, we don't want to get full so we can just go in. It's not good for the metabolism. Not at all. And you actually end up doing more harm than good when you do miss those meals and go in crazy. For the holiday season. Well, for the holiday dinner. Eat lighter meals during the day. My type B's, the focus, balanced. B for balanced always, okay? So a variety. Get you some greens, proteins, moderate starches again, okay? Don't overdo the sweets. That's so hard. I know it is, but I believe in you. I believe in the B's. I do. Quick hack, choose one dessert you truly, truly love. Not necessarily all of them. I know. And if you do want to indulge in a little, just take a little bit, but choose that one dessert that you truly love. Okay. Then my type ABs, holiday focus needs to be gentle and simple. Seafood dishes, smaller portions, fewer heavy combinations that are going to weigh you down. Okay. Quick hack, eat slowly. AB digestion absolutely responds best to pacing. Okay. So I also have some quick little recipe ideas, regardless if you are hosting at your home or if you're going someplace and need something to maybe take. and you don't necessarily want to grab something from the store. Maybe you want to just, get a little creative and do something in your kitchen. I have a quick recipe for garlicky greens. So this is a universal holiday side, okay? This is going to be great for all blood types. Saute some kale and collards, but because those leaves on the kale and collards are a little bit thicker, saute those first. Once those are completed, and I want you to take some olive oil. I want you to take some minced garlic. I want you to take some of that abstract spice original or that lower sodium, and I want you to saute those greens. Remember, an olive oil, not extra virgin olive oil, but saute them. And when they are just done, go ahead and throw in some spinach, turn off the stove, and just let those spinach leaves wilt, mixing in with either the sauteed and the kale or both the sauteed and the kale together. You can even do that, but the spinach leaves are going to cook super, super quick. And so the collard green leaves as well as the kale green leaves are thicker, and they're going to take a little bit longer. So you don't want to overcook the spinach. So simply just throwing the fresh spinach in there while the collards and kale have been cooked and are just heated on the stove. You just mix those together and it'll be perfect. It'll taste delicious. Trust me. Then we have our roasted root vegetables. Okay. Carrots, parsnips, our winter squash, like our butternuts. Take our acorn squash, cut those up, toss them in some olive oil with some abstract spice, lemon, salt, and pepper for a little zing with your flavor. Throw those in the oven, roast those. Flavorful, crowd approved, and it's familiar. Okay, so both of those are great sides, great plant-focused sides to take or to prepare for your guests at home for the holidays. Okay, now, how can we spice smarter? Flavoring without overloading, because one thing that I cannot stand, like it's one extreme to the next, right? You don't want to have bland food, but then you don't want to have super over-seasoned food, okay? Why? Because it just doesn't taste good. We need to meet somewhere in the middle, and abstract spice can absolutely help you with that. However, spices are going to be always your secret weapon during the holidays, regardless if it's abstract spice or not. Just make sure you are stocked with like your garlic and fresh herbs, parsley, rosemary. Those are going to be some earthy herbs and spices that you can use that are going to brighten up your dishes, enhance the flavor, and it's going to also reduce the need for excessive salt, sugar, and sauces, okay? And also these herbs and these natural spices are going to support your digestion, okay? Little holiday favorites: garlic and turmeric for inflammation, ginger for digestion, herbs for depth, okay? So we're going to season intentionally, not excessively. That is the key. Now, of course, we have to talk about our wellness teas, the herbs that we're putting together to sip for calming and soothing. And because we're eating those big meals, okay, digestion. All right. So these are some before and after the feast teas. And tea is how we can support the body during these indulgent weeks that we have ahead. Okay. And that we are embarking on now. So before meals, ginger tea and green tea all earlier in the day are going to be great. Have, a cup of green tea instead of or after your morning cup of coffee. Okay, that'll be great as well. After meals, indulge with your peppermint, your chamomiles, your ginger again, and fennel. Those are going to be great for digestion, calming, relaxing, and anti-inflammatory. Okay, a quick hack: sip the tea for seconds while waiting for fullness signals. Okay. So if you're eating and you want another plate of something, try sipping on some tea. Let your stomach settle. You may be satisfied even after that, okay? So now how we can move, keep it simple, okay? You don't need holiday boot camps. We don't need that right now. No, nobody's trying to get that going on right now, okay? So type O's, walks after meals. Type A's, stretching and or yoga. Type B's, like activity or dancing. Type AB's, gentle movement, breath work, okay? Movement is going to support the digestion. It's not going to punish it. We don't need a drill sergeant right now this week. We don't need that, okay? However, across all blood types, take that walk after your holiday dinner. I mean, that could be like a family tradition or something that you can even start. But that is going to be great for all blood types across the board. It's going to help you digest your food better. It's going to create bonding because you'll be communicating and talking with family members, catching up. And it's just a perfect way to end a great, delicious meal. Okay. Now, and that's just not for the holidays. That also goes for just dinners, period. Okay. Maybe your family can start a tradition doing that Sundays after a Sunday meal. I don't know. But that's definitely food for thought, okay? And breath work, because 9 times out of 10, you guys are going to have some family members that you're going to be in the room with that are going to pinch that nerve. Deep breaths, hey, take them. Take them as many as you can and that you need, okay? And let's just be thoughtful and mindful that the holiday season is not always joyous for everybody. Okay. Sometimes the holiday season can be quite depressing. It is one of the more depressing times of the year, even though we try to, you hear of joyous things and it can get you in the holiday spirit. Sometimes that's a hard time for people. Tragedy triggers death even. So we want to be mindful about that. We want to be considerate about that. And we want to make space for people or even ourselves going through this holiday season. Okay. And try to make it the best that we can. All right. So mindful thought for the holiday. Here's your holiday reminder. Celebration is not sabotage. Okay. We need to eat with gratitude, move with joy, and rest without guilt. We are on holiday. It is very, very important to get in some rest, okay? And one meal does not define your health. Your habits do. Back to the 80-20 rule, right? Do good most of the time, okay? And then sometimes indulge, okay? Now, in closing, your Thrive thought for this holiday week, because I know you're going to be busy. Honor the movement and honor your body. From my heart to yours, wishing you nourishment, joy, and balance this Christmas and Kwanzaa season. So until next time, I want you to season with intention, sip with care, live in alignment, and do it all mindfully for great eats and healthy living. Happy holidays.